This is my colleague Dennis, and I'm Oliver, and we're YUKKA Lab, and the light needs to be here. Thank you. So today we'll be presenting our solution. YUKKA Lab is a Berlin-based startup with core competencies in natural language processing, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and financial modeling. Over the course of the last years, we have developed a specialized sentiment analysis for the financial industry that automatically reads and interprets financial news in English and German. Our solution comprises out of two main products. On one hand, you have the news analyzer that gives you an aggregated, structured, and evaluated view at the news. And on the other hand, we have a trend cockpit that alerts you when the sentiment trend for a sector or for a company turns, and it's time for you to divest or invest. So our technology can be used in different use cases, such as branding, customer advisory, or compliance. But our main focus is the financial industry. Therefore, we want to outline to you today our investment use case. So let's imagine that I'm a portfolio manager or a client relationship manager, and I struggle to keep up with all the news surrounding these companies in my portfolio and how emerging topics might affect my investment decisions. So let's look at how our YUKKA Lab solution can help me to make better informed investment decisions and proactively advise my customers. So let's go into the demo. Every morning during breakfast or my way to office, I can use this overview you see here to get a quick update of what's happening in the news, what topics are driving the markets, and at a glance I can see all the countries with the specific indices, and I can see what sentiment the news coverage has for these specific indices. At the bottom, I can quickly grasp what topics are driving the market, and on the left-hand side, I have the respective articles in English and German. So if I now want to focus on a specific index like the NASDAQ 100, I have all the companies at a glance. I can see the green ones got positive media coverage, the red ones got negative ones. At the bottom, I can see the topics again. On the left-hand side, I have the articles. So let's zoom in on a specific company like Cisco Systems. I can see the sentiment score, I can see the sentiment trend, and I can see the sentiment of the indices this company is in. At the bottom, I can see what topics Cisco System is connected in the news and mentioned with. And on the left-hand side, I can read into the context of these topics with the articles. If I don't want to read a single article, I can use this data graph to visually assess the topic that's emerging and get an idea of how companies, persons, and events are interconnected through these topics. So this gives me input in potential new investment opportunities and possible corrections of my actual portfolio. So as a portfolio manager, I can personalize this tool to my portfolio and my watch list. So at the glance, I get all the relevant financial news, and I get it evaluated, and I see what sentiment it is. So as we can see, the news analyzer is really an efficient mean and a tool that you can look at news differently. With the data graph, the tag cloud, and the articles, you can assess upcoming topics and quickly identify what actors, what companies are involved, and get ideas for new investment opportunities. Since the news sentiment trend often turns before the market, we also have a trend cockpit that serves as an early warning system for our users, alerting him when the sentiment trend for a specific index or a specific sector has reached a turning point and it's time for you to act. So let's look at that. Here we're looking at our sector signals. As I said, it's an early warning system for the sectors. Right now we're looking at the automotive sector. The arrow with the color implicates the sentiment of the sector. Maybe let's switch to the financial services one. And on the right-hand side, you have the index curve with the specific investment signals. So red is for market exit and green for entry. So this is an easy to understand signal, and it condenses all the financial news to one signal that is as easy and clear to understand as invest or divest. So let's look at our other chart, which gives you the performance of our sentiment index against the benchmark. On top left, you can choose what index you want to benchmark it with. Right now, we're looking at the DAX. Maybe let's switch to the S&P 500. And on the right-hand side, you can see the green curve is our sentiment index. The lower curve is the benchmark. On the left-hand side, you have the respective performance. And at the bottom, you can see the investment ratio we're suggesting. So as you can see in this chart, our model goes back to 2005. And from 2014 on forward, you can see our out-of-sample performance. The gap between these two lines is our outperformance against the index, which proves the validity of our concept. Therefore, you can use this sentiment-based investment model as a hedging strategy with the advantage of significantly smoothing the drawdowns and increasing your overall performance. In addition to this tool, we also have launched in February of this year the first European equity fund based on sentiment. So as you could see in this presentation, we offer a solution that on one hand gives you the news analyzer that offers an aggregated and evaluated view at the news and allows you to use the data graph, the tag cloud, and the articles to quickly assess emerging topics and get inspiration for new investment opportunities. On the other hand, you have the trend cockpit that serves as an early warning system and alerts you when the sentiment trend for a specific sector or index has turned and it's time for you to react. So unlike other analytics tools, we offer fact-based, actionable insights that are as easy and clear as invest or divest. So thank you for your attention. If you're interested in a demo login or have further questions, please come visit us at our booth. But since today it is the Apple presentation, I have one more thing for you. Please vote for us as Best of Show. Thank you.